Dave Chappelle finally showed up to the Joe Rogan Experience, and I want to share a clip. So welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and yes, Dave Chappelle has been a guest that many have been waiting for to show up on the Joe Rogan Experience, and yesterday he finally came in and offered a 3+ hour interview solo with Joe, and it was really great, really awesome interview. If you're a fan of Dave, it's really fun to hear this bromance, as many in the comments are calling Dave Chappelle. Joe Rogan's bromance is iconic. One of the greatest comedians ever. Glad I finally this interview finally happened. This is a common one, and why I want to do another clip here. Okay, Spotify. You're about to see a big increase in app downloads. Don't get confused, though. We're not here for you. We're here for Dave. Dave Chappelle had it all and realized that just enjoying life is the way to happiness. That's really what's amazing. He's so humble in the interview. I really do like Chappelle a lot. And I wanted to bring one clip in particular near the end of the show where they're talking they bring up cancel culture, but they really just talk about being human. And they sort of are okay with cancel culture. But I wanted to share my thoughts as well. But I wanted you to hear this particular clip. Now, to set this clip up that I'm about to play, they're talking about sort of hanging out with other big celebrities. They talk about this one moment where they're in a party together, and they're like, oh, my God, this is crazy. And then Joe tells Dave, like, dude, you're the biggest celebrity here. And sort of Dave doesn't even realize it. Like, that's sort of just how Dave is. He doesn't really think of it that way. But then they talk about how Lenny Kravitz is there, and they talk about how amazing Lenny Kravitz is. They talk about Kanye West and how a lot of people, make fun of, but how Dave's like, dude, it really is a genius, the way he can really control the board and what he does musically. It's amazing to see. And so Chappelle's beginning to talk about just sort of how grateful he is that he gets to be around all these amazing types of people. So that's the setup here. Now let's hear what they have to say.
I've been very lucky to get to see people who are great at things up close, even being on this podcast. I feel like you didn't make podcast stuff, but you kind of make podcast stuff. And I know you. It's fucking a strange neighborhood in life. It's one of the joys of my life, getting to know these people and knowing and seeing them be human. We struggle through these things. We bellyache about decisions. But everyone. No, none of these people that I know are contest winners. They all worked very hard to be great at what they do. Everyone is gifted, but these people spent time refining their gift and getting rejection and taking all those shots that you take in life, and they made something of it. I can't begrudge them that, And I always hope that none of us white. I hope we all survive it. And I think that's why that cancel culture shit bothers me. I'm not even opposed to the ideas behind, some of these cancellations. I get it.
I get
do good things.
Stopping harassment, stopping all
racism, harassment,
everything.
This ism, that ism, this phobia, that phobia. I get it. Let's fight it.
And the inclination, all of it, is to make the world a better place. That's the inclination. It gets abused and misused sometimes by the wrong people and bad actors. But at the end of the day, what they're trying to do, at least what they think they're trying to do, is eliminate bad aspects of our culture and our society.
Right.
That's what they're trying to do.
Right, because society doesn't correct itself. And in that sense, I appreciate it. Like, my kids make me very hopeful for the future. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people say, oh, I wouldn't want... Good people I know. I don't want to bring kids into this world. Like, my age, no kids. Don't do that shit. If you think you're a good person, please, have a kid. Put all your good ideas in that kid so that the world will be better.
I quote you all the time because it's something you said to me in the parking lot of the Comedy Store. You said, my children didn't just increase the amount of love in my life, they increased my capacity for love.
Oh, that's very true. They I don't say they saved my life. I wasn't in dire straits, but man, I wouldn't be fractionally, I think, what I am, or have some of the courage that I was able to muster. It's not like I'm not scared. I'll be scared, but I just do this shit anyway.
Everybody who knows me says there's like me pre-children and post-children. I'm like a different person. I'm so much nicer.
I always liked you, Joe. I never saw you as a mean guy. You were always kind. You were always edgy. And everyone was scared of you because you know kung fu. But, it's not like he was in the comedy club sweep kicking nigga.
All right, I got a part there. They get more extreme. But I really love that clip. It's just a really short, little, concise clip, and it's sort of really, you get to see them both be human for a minute. And it's interesting what they say there. Look, I've had my issues with cancel culture, obviously, personally, etc. But they're right. they're right. The goal of what cancel culture is supposed to do is to sort of help better people. But I wish they would have gone in a little bit more specific on how it is abused, and a lot of people are overusing it, and there are a lot of bad actors, and the term's been overused, and too many people in that group mind think are pushing too hard. But it's, look, I like to show all sides here, and I've shown videos where they talk about they're not for cancel culture, but it's clear they are, they want to be good people, right? And I think that's the problem here. It's like the everyone online who's trying to cancel someone or call someone out is trying to be a good person. But the problem is on social media, when you do that, sometimes you're just doing it for clout because you think it's better. And the reality is you don't understand the extent of what your actions that you're doing by calling someone out for something you don't like, what those ramifications can actually have. Because it's not just going to make a better society. It's going to have many people just shun you because they think they're not allowed to engage with you and all these things. So it's more complicated than they're alluding, but I wanted to share it to you because it was interesting. I wanted to hear what you guys think. Do you agree with them or do you disagree with them? I definitely disagree with them to an extent, but I understand where they're coming from because they're right. The goal of it for the good people is that they want to, do the right thing. And if somebody's doing something terrible, then yeah, they should be called out. Accountability is important, of course. They're not being very specific on what it means. They're not talking about specific cases. But I think it was interesting. But beyond even just that little bit, I love the moments of just sort of them being human. You can sort of just tell and to know how important, obviously, their kids are to them. And sort of even Joe admitting, yeah, I was kind of a jerk until I had my kids. And Dave revealing, how much better of a person he became and how they sort of saved his life in a way. I mean, I just relate to that. And it's true. Joe says there's a lot of people who just don't want to ever have kids. Chappelle says it. But I love Chappelle's advice. Like, no, if you're a good person, like, no, we need more people in this world that are going to be good people, who are going to like do the right things, instill all the right and all the good and all that you've learned in them to help our future. And I do personally love that idea. And I can relate so much to him because my kids were, I couldn't have gotten through what I got through without my son at the time. And I'm now so grateful to have more kids in my life due to the relationship I'm in. And it's an amazing thing when you can have that done right. So look, I like this insight. Celebrities can have feelings, it seems. And even massive, huge celebrities of the level of Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan can also still have feelings. They talk about sort of, they feel for the common man and how lucky they are. They realize, yes, they do a lot of work, but they realize, how grateful they are for their place in life right now because a lot of people don't get to do what they get to do. And Joe's biggest complaint is the fact that he's just so busy. And it's true. It's something that I think most people don't realize. Like a lot of these people, Joe Rogan, etc., Chappelle, I think even Elon Musk just tweeted about this. It's not lucky. It's work. It's a lot of work to get to these points and to build these empires that these two have. And I think it's easy for us to sort of just knock a lot of celebrities, but these are two guys I respect because they put in the work. And I like enjoying what they say. I don't always agree with it, but I like to hear what they say. I think they're both very smart guys who have just interesting insight. It doesn't mean we should listen to them and do whatever they tell us to do, obviously, but I appreciate their honesty. And this was a nice, honest human moment I wanted to share with you. And I wanted to get your thoughts on sort of what they're saying about cancel culture. Do you agree with them? Do you think they're off base? Let's talk about it. Did you hear the whole show? Make sure to tell me down below your thoughts on the whole interview. I just want to also do this clip to sort of let you guys know that it's there. A lot of people have been ignoring the Spotify app and Joe Rogan Experience. As we've previously reported, the numbers are down. I'll put that video at the end of this as well. But what do you think? Will this make you go over there? Is this one of those draws? It's like, all right, fine, I'm going over to Spotify. I'll give it a check. Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Smash that bell for all alerts. It helps us get you the videos in your feed. And you can smash that like button. Like I said, leave your thoughts on the comments I just brought up below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned. Tonight, Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live. I'm going to be covering that. So stay tuned.